This review is for the Holy Stone HS170c quadcopter. Right here you can see me zip it around, and in a few seconds I'll show you what's included in the box and tell you a little more about the drone and flying controls. If you just want to see more examples of it flying or actual footage from the drone, you can fast forward to the end of this video. Here we have the Holy Stone Predator HS170c quadcopter, and I got it in the color red. What's included in the box is the quadcopter itself, one battery, a battery charger, an SD card, a user manual that's actually written in pretty good English, the controller itself, as well as some extra parts. I failed to show the USB SD card reader in this video, but there is one included. Taking a look at the quadcopter itself, you'll see the camera here on front. On the back, you'll see the battery compartment as well as the SD slot. You can see it has a propeller guard all the way around, but it is removable if you prefer to save some weight and battery time. Now, to go through installing it, the SD card goes in the back like so. The connectors face upwards, as you can see there, and you just pop it in until you hear it click. Once it clicks, you know that it's secure. After that, you'll then want to install the battery, and to do so you just slide it in that slot and connect the wires. They can only plug in one way, so you can't get it wrong, and as soon as the lights light up, you know that there's power. Turn on the control, lift the throttle up all the way and pull it all the way back down, and as soon as the lights on the quadcopter stop flashing, you'll know you're connected to the controller. To charge the battery, go ahead and remove it from the quadcopter and get your USB adapter. This USB adapter has two charging ports, one on either side, and it can charge a second battery, which is not included. It is kind of difficult to get the cable plugged in there. You might have to wiggle it around and force it a little bit. Keep trying, you'll eventually get it. The transmitter included is very large, but it's pretty standard compared to other brands. On the bottom left, you'll see that there is the one key return button as well as the headless mode. My advice to you is learn how to fly the drone without those buttons. They can make things very confusing. Here's the video button. Press to record or stop recording. Above that, you have the photo button. Press to take a picture, or a long press will turn the LED lights on the quadcopter off. On the right hand side, you have the trim buttons as well as your right joystick, and to put it simply, this controls the lean of the quadcopter, left, right, forward, or backward, and the left hand joystick is the throttle, or to put it simply again, to spin the quadcopter in left or right direction. If you press down on the left joystick, you can change the speed mode of the quadcopter. There's a 40% level, 60% level, and 100% level. To do flips, push down on the right hand joystick and choose a direction. That's the direction the quadcopter will flip. The manual included is actually pretty detailed and fairly easy to understand. I would definitely recommend reading through that and becoming familiar with the quadcopter. Anyways, here's some video of the actual quadcopter flying, and my nephew loves this thing and he loves helping me launch this thing off. It's about 5 to 10 mile an hour winds right now, and this quadcopter handles them just fine. It hovers with no problems, and the different speed settings really helps you combat any winds that there may be. Overall, I'm incredibly impressed with how stable this thing is, and it's probably my most stable mini quadcopter that I own. Here's some footage from the actual quadcopter camera itself, and I'm flying it in the middle of a dust storm here, so that's why it's a little more shaky than normal. But as you can tell, the quality is not bad. For how small the quadcopter is, I was actually really impressed with the video quality. Now, in the higher speed settings of the quadcopter, it's very difficult to get smooth video, and even worse when it's windy. You can see that dust storm coming in. So I would recommend, if you want to take video, to have the speed setting on low. That'll keep the quadcopter from leaning so rapidly and kind of smooth up your video. Here's another video I took at night, and this is on the low speed setting, and you can see how much smoother the video is, and also there's a lot less wind than that previous video. Another thing to note is don't expect good sound from these videos. In what you're watching now, I have the sound of the quadcopter reduced by 97%, so you can imagine that it is quite loud, unedited. This wouldn't be a good review if I didn't talk about the durability of this quadcopter, and here you can see I accidentally bent one of the propellers, but even with the bent propeller, it still flies just fine. Right now I have the quadcopter on the low setting. As you can see, it doesn't move very quickly, very slow in the direction change, but that's very good for beginners. Here's the medium setting. You can tell it's a little more zippy, a little harder to control, a little more power. You can go a little faster and fight, a little greater winds. And then right here I have it on full setting, full power, and you can see it's much more zippy. This is the best for the harder winds and for the more advanced users. You can see here that the quadcopter flips very nicely. Overall, this is a great quadcopter, great for beginners, great for advanced. I love it. It's been very durable, and I absolutely give it a 5-star rating. Thank you.